Billboard called you one of the breakout stars of 2015. What did you think when you first heard that?
I'm very honored. I'm always honored to be complimented like that, or just in any way. So yeah, to have somebody like Billboard compliment me in that way is amazing. It's really amazing.
So we're here at the Fonda tonight.
Yeah.
You said you've come here as a fan many times.
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
Twice.
You were twice.
Yeah, but it feels, yeah, those were very memorable nights.
So when you were here,
feels like a lot.
Were you picturing yourself on stage? Were you waiting for your turn?
You know, the first time I came here, I saw Jack White play, and I've been waiting to see him since I was 9 years old. So I don't think that I was comparing myself to him or where he was at all. It was more just like I was down here and he was up there, and I was accepting that. So for me, being on stage tonight is definitely kind of, it's mind-blowing. It's cool. It's happened very fast. This year has been very transformative. So playing in a stage like this is epic.
So this year has been. I mean, you've been songwriting, performing for a while, but this year has really been. What's been the biggest thing, the biggest change this year for you?
The biggest change for me is that I am gone. I am not at home anymore, and I've kind of had to like keep up with myself a little bit. I think that, you know, you talk to artists or you have people in the industry that do kind of the same things, bands that are on tour, and they try to explain to you what it's like, but you never know what it's like until you're actually doing it. It's hard to be gone. It's hard to miss out. Luckily, I'm not a FOMO. So I don't have FOMO, fear of missing out, which is great.
You don't get FOMO?
No, I don't get FOMO really. So I'm fine there. Like it doesn't really hurt to be gone and missing out on, you know, parties and stuff. I think it's more just like my family and my dog at home that I miss so much.
I think they have FOMO from your experiences. That's what I think it's the opposite. They all see you and say, "Dang it, I wish I was there."
I wish I was there. Yeah, but then they don't know what it's like to be in a sprinter van for 13 hours at a time.
Sounds horrible. So you are drawing some comparisons. Some other artists out there, Lana Del Rey, Lorde, come to mind. What do you think of those comparisons?
You know, as a new artist, you're going to get compared to other artists that are already established. So I'm just kind of in the phase of my career where I'm proving myself, which is fine because I think that we all have to do it. So I think eventually I will be just Zella Day. And, you know, it takes some time to get to that point. But
you'll be the one
working hard.
Good, good. So I Googled where you were from, and it is a tiny Arizona town.
Yeah.
What's
it's
it
silly.
called?
Did you Google image?
Oh yeah,
or what did you
2,000 people.
You're like,
there are no
a
streets.
Pine tree, another pine tree, another pine tree.
I saw some big rocks over there, but
exactly.
tell me about this childhood you had coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, it is really out of nowhere. I moved up there with my family when I was like 5 years old, and we actually lived on a ranch for a while, and like we were the only ones living in a cabin. It was kind of like The Shining, on this huge property. And I grew up in a small mountain town, and we finally moved off the ranch and into the town. And my mom opened up a coffee shop with my grandmother called More Coffee, and I started playing there for open mics, and that was my first stage at 9 years old. So that kind of introduced performing into my life. Family oriented.
So how do you go from being 9 years old performing in a coffee house to making the jump to having an album?
I mean, I've been writing for a very long time and kind of working on my craft, and I was going to Nashville for a while when I was like 14, 15, writing out there with a lot of BMG writers, and spending like a week in Nashville and just having writing sessions every day. So I've been kind of like fine-tuning my sound and figuring out what exactly I wanted to be, and I moved out to California now 3 years, which is kind of crazy, 3 years ago, and it was with my mom and my sister, and it wasn't to really necessarily chase the dream. It was just that luckily the dream was kind of here waiting for me, I guess. But it was for family purposes because my parents got a divorce, so I just kind of came out to California because we have family in Long Beach. And it's just, you know, it's just all kind of the dots connected.
Were you in school? Did you go to school at all?
No, I was graduating class of 2013, which is kind of crazy to say. It's been a second.
You got done, so you're an adult.
Yeah,
what were
I'm
you
an
like
adult.
in school?
What was I like in school? The same Zella. But I had a hard time in high school, to be honest, just because I started traveling when I was in high school, and so for me, especially like small town, like high school is the most important thing. It's the center of everybody's world. I mean, even like the adults that live there, because high school football games is like what you do on a Friday night. It's kind of like center of gravity there. But I started leaving for music trips. And so it kind of separated me sort of from my peers, and I didn't really talk about what I was doing outside of school. And so it was kind of difficult for me because I didn't really have anybody to relate to on what I had so much passion for. So it was kind of leaving high school where I feel like I really found myself, and life is much better for me now. I think I found my groove.